Hey there.
Hi, Tobias. How are you? It's so great to see your beautiful face. And thanks so much for doing an Odyssey check in with us. It is what a wonderful time. My name is Taryn Daly, and I'm so excited about all things Ghost right now. You guys have had a year of obviously a little bit quiet, but there's been a lot of buzz. And now we finally kind of know what you guys have been up to during pandemic life. And the first taste of what you've been working on this new song Hunter's Moon. I even wore my moon earrings. Um,
Mm,
Very exciting. So congratulations on being back out and doing things and giving new music to the fans that have been so hungry for it for so long.
thank you. Thank you. It feels very
Yeah.
good. I'm very happy of, uh, you know, with being back. Feels very nice after this long uh, dormancy.
And I believe you guys played a show. You had a show back in I think March of 2020 that was kind of the last show before everything shut down. So when you're hitting the road with Volbeat and playing these like massive stadiums, how do you even get ready at this point when it's been that long since any of us have been able to do anything?
I mean, right now I haven't been on a plane for such a long time. So it's, I mean, the last time I traveled, like abroad, I flew someplace was after Mexico. I flew to LA to work on. Actually, I was there working on Hunter's Moon. um, last show I saw was I went to the Hollywood Palladium and went to see Opeth,
Oh yeah.
and then I flew home after a few days from there, and that was I mean just when everything just shut down and everything was. So I mean, we got out in the exactly the right time. We had already sort of finished our tour cycle and all that. And fast forward to now, I've I drive, I drive a lot, so I've been out, on sort of trips, but that has been in Sweden, and I have this trip coming up now next week, flying to London, and it feels almost like when I was a kid, and I was like, I feel anxious about, like, how do you do this? Like, how do you the plane, and what do you have to bring? Like,
Yeah.
whereas in
Well, what can I not bring?
usually, yeah, and usually, I mean, the last 10 years, I've almost nonstop. There's always been like a bag half packed in the inside the door, and I just sort of quickly just oh well, yeah, and then whatever I forgot, I would just buy it at the airport or something. It's like very very loosely. Uh, the only thing I really need to have is passport and my migraine medicine, and that's the rest is doable. But that is
You can
also
wing it.
like comes that yeah, but that comes with the speed of doing things. But now as that has sort of gone down, it's I'm sure it's it can be awakened, but I'm not really there yet.
Well, we were so excited to hear the details of this tour with Volbeat. And I mean, it sounds like you guys have kind of become friends on a couple different levels. I know that you both contributed to Metallica's Blacklist. And that
Mm.
that album was just such a cool, surprise for the Metallica fans who have basically influenced just about any band that exists in the world. Did you guys know for certain that Enter Sandman was going to be the song? I know you've played it, live before, but was that the natural choice, or were there any other Metallica songs that Ghost was considering contributing to that project?
Uh, I think I might have briefly considered something else, but as we were asked to participate in that on the blacklist, I think it was quite clear, at least in my head, that we were gonna uh, put together like a real recorded version of Enter Sandman. I feel the concept of making covers, and this is by no, I'm not trying to in any way sort of uh, turn it out to be that all the songs that we have ever covered has been like subpar songs that we wanted to fix. But sometimes when you decide to cover something, at least in my world, at least in my head and in my heart, I feel that I need to do something to them that either sort of puts it forward in terms of like sound. It could be something that's simple, um, or that there's like some sort of skewing with it. Like we did "Here Comes the Sun" years ago, which is obviously a very, very happy, summery sort of track, and it was, it was turned into this minor, very dark, almost like nuclear track. Um, there and I think that historically one of the most covered pop artists, popular cultural artists, Bob Dylan. The reason why a lot of artists have covered him is not only because the tracks are so good, but it's also because his own versions of his own tracks are usually very, very bare boned.
Mm-hmm.
And they're sort of insinuating the melody. It's like, and it's like, oh, you hear the melody. It's like, kind of like there. It's only, and as a singer, you just want to like, you just want to sing it out. You want to sort of flesh it out more. The problem with Metallica songs is that the songs are so fleshed out. They're so cemented. There's really no room for interpretation in my head. But also
Yeah, and in the
speaking,
version
yeah,
the version that you guys did, I mean, you respect the song so much, you put the Ghost stamp on it, but without reinventing Enter Sandman, except for that intro, like, oh my gosh, you're like, are we going to be in this, is this going to be a piano song the whole time? I mean, it's absolutely stunning, but you guys really did do the song so much justice, and it's such a beautiful contribution to that project.
thank you.
You're very welcome. And Volbeat is on that as well. All these different artists. Have you and Volbeat been buddies going back before this project?
Not really. I mean, we've been, we're colleagues
Mhm.
I mean, for as long as we've toured, they have been out touring as well. So, but never like close friends. No.
Well, this will be very exciting to see you guys share a stage together. When Ghost first started coming to town years ago, I believe the size of the venue that I was at was maybe like 800 people, and I think the fire marshal came because they may have oversold the tickets a little bit. But then you guys were playing, 1,700, and then it was 7,000, and now it's tens of thousands. How do you process that kind of success over the course of your band's career?
Um, how do you process that? Um, I think if you are a touring band that tours continuously and you do what most other touring bands do, you do your own tours, and then you support, and then you do your own tour, and then you support someone else, and then you do your own tour, and then you do a festival. So you sort of go on these sort of cycles of going back and forth. And usually by the time, if you ever get to play an arena or like a sport hall yourself, for the most part, I think most rock bands at least have done that before, supporting someone else. That's sort of the code of the road. You do that. Unless you're like this overnight sensation and then just sort of jump up and I can't tell for that, because our career might have gone quickly in the beginning, but the last 10 years has been pretty sort of normal in terms of like what you should supposed to do, grinding. So sometimes the novelty of doing something might not be as overwhelming as the first time you played a stadium show at all. We don't play stadiums ourselves. We don't play like football stadiums. But we've done it as quite many times, supporting Metallica, we've supported Iron Maiden, we've supported Foo Fighters, we've supported other bands and stadiums as well. And same thing went, with arena shows. All those bands that I've mentioned, we did arena shows with before. So once you sort of accidentally do an arena show yourself, it feels like, oh yeah, I know this. I know what to do. And then everything else, when it comes to planning your own tour in arena size, what dawns on me is that I've prepared for so many years when I was nowhere near playing anywhere for money. I was hardly in a band. I was like already sort of sketching on arena shows. And once you sort of find yourself in a position where you can actually, you're sort of, you're excused to come up with your arena show now. The first thing that happens is like, no, that won't work. That's too expensive. You can't do that. No, you can't do that. Oh, that's a cell line. Oh, you can't do that. No. Fire marshal has to approve that. And it was like, what the fuck? It's like, come on, you're shitting on my dream. So it's actually a lot of, back when we were touring in clubs and we were playing El Corazon, for example. I mean, obviously El Corazon sort of stands out as one of those, like, we can't do anything here.
Low ceilings.
Oh yeah, I mean, no production whatsoever. Which it was always a hassle for me, because I always wanted to bring a lot of production everywhere, and I didn't want to discriminate any market, any town, any fan from seeing the same thing as they had seen, online somewhere, or what they've heard of. So many a time, you come to a city and you have that sort of El Corazon moment where it's like, fuck, I really wish we could come back very soon and just play the more or something, like, and just do like a real show. Funnily enough, I remember that El Corazon, we played El Corazon twice, but the second show was definitely like one of those where it's like, wow, this is a really cool and special show. I mean, can't wait to get back. But it turned out cool. It was a lot of fights, though. I remember there was a lot of fighting
like sardines
going on
in there.
Yeah, but it was kind of yeah, there was a fighting going on and stuff that was a little alarming. But then when you fast forward to now, when we don't have those physical limitations of playing like a little club with low ceiling, there's other things that sort of comes in, other factors.
Yeah.
Principally because you have to fix everything. When you play arenas, you have to, like, when you play a theater, at least there's like a black box. If you go into Paramount or something like that, there's the stage is sort of has a little bit of a natural ability to sort of look the part. Whereas when you play an arena, you have to like come up with everything from floor to ceiling. Like, that's the entire thing.
I am so excited to see you transform these big arenas. It's going to be so magical, and the fans are stoked. And all of this news kind of came down during Halloween season. A couple of years ago, I actually carved a Papa pumpkin. So, I mean, you guys kind of go hand in hand with Halloween. And then, funny enough, the song Hunter's Moon is featured in the credits of the new Halloween Kills movie, which I believe is out now. And I mean, how cool to be associated with a franchise like the Halloween franchise. I mean, that's about as legendary as it gets for Halloween season and spooky movies and things like that. Do you watch a lot of scary movies yourself?
I do, or especially I have throughout my life. I turned not so positive maybe 20 years ago, I think, when I sound old saying that, but it's I was a big fan of scary movies ever since I was a kid, basically. So when I was a kid, this is the 80s, so it was like all like Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street and Hellraiser and all that shit that sort of came at the time. and gravely infatuated with that. When I was a little bit older, I got sort of started as with music. I sort of started going backwards and started exploring like the more kitsch sort of cinema of the
Mhm.
70s, and like a lot of the Italian films like Lucio Fulci and stuff like that, and and was, you know, enormously um, in awe of the whole genre. And then around 2020, like 2000, like in the late 90s to early 2000s, when The Ring came, The Ring really scared me. I remember on 9/11, 2001, I was in a band called Repugnant at the time, and we had just recorded a new demo, and I was sitting making the cover. It was a cassette cover. It was a cassette tape, and I was sitting making that as I had the TV on, and just noticed the the planes hitting, and it was just like, oh. And I remember so clearly, I was alone in the apartment. I don't know if it was the happenings on TV that startled me. I don't know what it was, but in the apartment, I was in my neighbor's apartment for some reason, because I was borrowing something. But I was sitting there borrowing like a technical equipment, and they had mirrors everywhere in the apartment. And I remember how afraid I was for mirror for seeing reflections, because I had just recently seen The Ring. And it was one of those moments. I can't believe I'm sitting here watching this piece of news, and I'm sitting here like worried about uh, mirrors, because it really affected me, that film. And ever since, I must say that most horror films that I've seen is not good,
Mhm.
because I think, and you know, a real cineast might come in and just start kicking my ass on this one, but I dare to say that something happened after The Ring, where there was like a, okay, no holds barred, like now everything is going to be from start to finish just scary. There's nothing funny anymore. There's nothing cozy, nothing like charming, no transport. It's just like from start to finish pure fucking horror. And I don't like that. I prefer, even Alien, that was one of the scariest films I've ever seen when I was a kid,
Mhm.
was cozy. It had like moments of tranquility,
Mhm.
but like a lot of the new films has nothing of that,
Yeah.
and therefore I don't like them. So
Well, I will tell
I
you.
tend to sort of ignore a lot of the new things, because I
Yeah,
think that
sure.
they're tasteless, basically.
The part of The Ring was filmed less than 2 miles from my house, so I drive by where the barn is every single day, and it still freaks me out. So I'm with you. That movie definitely impacted me as well. I know that. So if anyone has not yet watched the music video for Hunter's Moon, that is almost like a short, scary movie in and of itself. It's pretty creepy. Do you come up with concepts like that in your own mind, or is there somebody that kind of helps you with that vision, to put something out there that was so kind of, ooh, it gives you the chills a little bit?
I mean, yes and no. Everything that we do that sort of transforms into moving pictures always has to go through someone else, simply because I'm not a director myself. I am not like privy to all the. I'm very very interested in cinema, but I'm not myself able to sort of take the entire idea into finished. That would, I'm, you know, I'm a musician, so I would love to go into that, but as of right now, there always has to be some sort of um, uh, what do you call it, like interpretation of what I said.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, I mean, the idea for that video was originally different. I had a script written that was more a story of two kids doing, you know, it started somewhere and ended somewhere, someplace. And because of budgets and because of traveling restrictions and all that, we had to rework the idea.
Mm-hmm.
And it had to become what it had to become, basically, as we say in Swedish. And if I were to direct my own things, it would be a little bit more like storytelling, like real story, like a chronological order. But I sort of shot that, when I noticed that my idea was too complicated and it required building a a room within a room and stuff. I'm when it comes to films, I'm not very dogma, as in Danish like lo-fi films. I'm very Kubrick. I'm very much, we have to build this thing that sort of goes around, and it comes on like, and it requires like days and days and days of work of carpenters, just like very complicated. So sometimes, but it always ends up on a list of unfulfilled ideas, and that is getting pretty long.
Well, you have a beautiful brain for all of this. It obviously is reflected in the music that you put out there, and it's certainly reflected in the stage performance that you see when you go to a ghost show. I am so pumped that you guys are coming back. And I know there's new music on the horizon. I know we're not really talking about it, but let me tell you, as a personal fan and all the fans that I know, we cannot wait to hear more. Hunter's Moon is just like, like a dangling of the carrot. And this is a really exciting time to be a Ghost fan. So I just wanted to say thank you so much for being wonderful. I cannot wait to catch you guys when you come through town. And please keep in touch with all the Audacy fans of Ghost.
Thank you very much for having me. I'm really looking forward to come back to Seattle.
Right on, Tobias. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time.
Thank you. Bye-bye.